John Coleman, thanks.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay. Oh, banjo. Banjo.
Hold on, sit still. Mr. Hudson, let me get your banjo, sir.
Look, Jeff. Look, Jeff. Thanks, John.
You betcha. Can I get you a drink of water or anything else?
No, I'm good. My band's a little messy.
Okay. I'll start the car for you. Yeah.
For me? Okay, thanks. And so I hate to waste playing time because I know we don't have a lot of time, but it bears repeating for those who feel that there's nothing else going on, there's no rhyme or reason to what occurs, you know, in cosmos and people's lives and stuff like that. So I don't feel that way anymore. I used to feel that way, but I don't feel that way anymore. I don't exactly know 100% how I feel, but I know there's something going on. So this is an example, in a series of examples of why I know there is something going on. Not neither. But I had a banjo, not this one. I had a banjo for 30 years, and I loved the banjo. And the banjo, it's you know, I'm a banjo player, and I'm not a great banjo player. That's not what I'm saying. But it's a, you know, I'm a banjo guy, and it's a healing thing. And banjo is a special kind of thing. And I had the same banjo for over 30 years, and it was a exquisite banjo. You know, it was a 1928 Vega 5-string F-style, all original. Beautiful. I had it, I loved it and cherished it, and then, you know, circumstances being such as they are, I was compelled to sell it about a month ago. It's really hard to do, you know, for anybody that has musical instruments, they know that. It's hard to do. But I did it, and I knew I had to do it, and I did it, and that was okay. But it was bad. And then I was thinking, I was sitting in my cubicle at work. Boy. Anyways, I was sitting there, and I was thinking, I'm going to be in Camden. I don't have my banjo. I got one banjo song I want to play, and I don't have one. And so this fellow walked by that I knew was a banjo player, and I called him over, and I said, listen, I didn't sell my banjo. Can I borrow your banjo for the show, and then I'll give it back to you? And he looked at me, and it was like some kind of button got pushed, and he gushed for like 3 minutes. And to capsulize it, he explained to me a bunch of different things, and he told me how a couple of months ago he was out and he bought a banjo, this one. You know, just as a statement of fact, this is a great banjo. It's very expensive. I could never even conceive of buying this. You know, it's like, that's not why I'm telling you that. It's important to note that. It's better than any instrument I own. It's more valuable. It's great. I don't deserve it. But the fellow who did own it was saying that he bought this banjo and he didn't know why he bought it, and he brought it home, and every day he looks at it when he goes home, and he doesn't know why he bought it. He was compelled to buy it, and he bought it. And then when I told him that story, he said, and I could see it in his face. He like had an epiphany. It's no BS. He said, I bought that banjo to give it to you. That's why I bought that banjo. So he gave it to me. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And there was a reason that he bought that banjo. He was compelled to buy it. I'm not saying why or anything like that, okay? But make of that story as you will. So, that having been said, and as a follow-up, you know, thing about the banjo, the thing about the banjo is, for banjo players, I think frailers in particular, it's a therapeutic thing. I was sitting one time, as it seems like I do way too frequently, and I'm stewing about stuff. And, you know, I'm sitting in this chair, the minutes are, and then I was probably there for hours, and I could see myself. I was getting, like, uglier and, like, a Dorian Gray thing, and I was becoming so obsessed with this stuff I was dwelling on, which was all bad, and I knew, you know, something inside was saying, you gotta stop doing this, or something really bad's gonna happen. So I reached over, grabbed my banjo, and this is the tune, which I call Light at the End of the Tunnel, which is what brought me out of that funk, which is, you know, that's it. So there you go. Anyway, so here it is. It might take a couple of seconds to get into the role. But anyway. Big healing right there. Big healing. Because you can feel like you feel it, you know.
I felt it.
Think about the truth, it heals.
Yeah, the truth does.